Yeah, guys, it's looking like it might be a wrap. Or is it? Nah, it actually might be a wrap. What is good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy HMK here once again with another Zelda video, Tears of the Kingdom, PAX East, all that good jazz. But it's looking like it might be possible that probably now let me stop beating around the bush. Tears of the Kingdom will not show up, or like it's reported that it will not show up at PAX East 2023. Now, here's the thing. Before you guys get it twisted, you know, of course, there's disappointment, but I'm not disappointed at the fact that Tears of the Kingdom may not show up there, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. I'm more disappointed about Nintendo's strategy when it comes to this game. You know, we're literally less than 2 months out, and then Nintendo still is like about the game, and I have a whole deal to talk about that in this video. But before you guys get it twisted, like I was gonna go to PAX East anyway, right? It's a great place to hang out with friends, fans, network, and then, you know, there's still a lot to offer. So I was going anyways, and of course, for those that are going still, you know, a bunch of Zelda fans, Zelda tubers are going to be there. So we're going to put on the show, Zelda show. Well, not really a show, but like, you know, we're going to hang out and do Zelda stuff or whatever. If Nintendo's not going to do it, that's right, us. Anyways, this report comes from the Boston Herald, in which a reporter known as Matthew Metzgar, which is a political writer for Boston Herald, said a piece about specifically, which is, you know, a bit off or weird, Nintendo and Square Enix to return at PAX East. We knew that Square Enix was going to return like a while ago. They still have an unspecified booth, and they're going to have a Final Fantasy 16 panel, a Final Fantasy 14 panel. It's like, you know, it's funny because I was going in expecting, like I really did expect, with the most part of my heart, that Tears of the Kingdom was going to be there, but then Final Fantasy 16 showed up instead, and then Final Fantasy 16 actually is coming out after Tears of the Kingdom. I'm just like, Nintendo, honey, what are you doing? So, you know, they're going to be there, and Nintendo's going to be there, and then their booth is now known as the Nintendo Versus Arcade, in which apparently a spokesperson from the Japan-based game developer, which is like, Nintendo's more of a conglomerate company at this point, told the Boston Herald that Nintendo's presence on the show will be dedicated to competitive play activities. More details will be revealed at a later date. We are literally like 2 weeks away from PAX, so I don't know what you're waiting for or whatnot. And then the writer goes on to say that they believe that, you know, Super Smash Brothers, Mario Kart 8, anything to promote the Mario movie, in which Mario is in the game already. I'm like, you know, Splatoon 3 is like really, really hot, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be there as well. And we're going to see if there's going to be competitive prizes or anything like that, or are fans going to be able to interact with the booth. But as we scroll down more, apparently the spokesperson said that The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom will not be shown at PAX East 2023. And what's weird is that the story is not being picked up. Like, the story is like, it broke at 6 a.m., right? And yet it's not being picked up by other, you know, websites that would like just like, oh, Tears of the Kingdom's not going to be there, you know, like Kotaku, Polygon, or Nintendo Life, or anything like that. It's like the story's not being picked up, and I'm like, that's a little off. And then, you know, the writing of this is also a little off. It's not like I don't believe the story. It's just that, you know, Boston Herald specifically not being picked up, not being talked about, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why? You know, this is a story that would catch wildfire. So I'm like, I'm gonna wait. That's why I'm saying, you know, will Tears of the Kingdom not show up? Question mark. I'm gonna wait for like an actual official confirmation from Nintendo or from a source that has more, you know, reputation or whatnot. Not taking away anything from the Boston Herald, but they go on to say that Square Enix is going to also be there, which is weird that this article like signifies only Nintendo, Square Enix among all the other, you know, developers are going to be there, and the fact that Pokemon's going to have a booth and yada yada yada. And Square Enix's presence in PAX East has always been, you know, kind of constant in terms of them being there, showing off something, a couple of games, and, you know, selling merch. Because Square is always known for having their play arts, their bring arts, their kais, their plushies. Awesome. They always have a store there, like a physical store. And I should know. Yeah. Right? And then they also have a section where they can play the Final Fantasy trading card game, which I've never played. You know, like that. I should give that a shot because I always see a lot of people playing there. So Square Enix being there, like that's kind of a no-brainer or whatnot. And Nintendo being there with both, well, it's not Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. Nintendo being there with Nintendo vs. Arcade, and the Pokemon Company being there with Pokemon trading card game and competitive stuff, whatever. But the thing is with Tears of the Kingdom not being there entirely, like if it's not playable there, I get it, right? But you know, why wouldn't they bring like the Nintendo, like what do you call them, the Tears of the Kingdom Link statue to Boston for photos opportunities? Why wouldn't they show off like, you know, the collector's edition box, which they're doing, not the collector's edition box, but the box art and all stuff, because they're doing that in Japan right now, right? They show off the box, the collector's edition pins, prototypes, you know, prototypes to like the fantasy, because I mean, like we all know the art book leaked, right? Physically, it's not like, you know, the PNGs got like thrown on Twitter or thrown on the internet or Reddit or anything. No, someone has the book, right? Either it's a completed model or a prototype, right? So like if something physical of the book exists, why wouldn't they show off more physical things? So like maybe this Nintendo's way of like, okay, it's leaked, we're doing damage control. Hey, maybe we had an idea at PAX, now they're not gonna get it because of the book leak. I'm not sure. That's the whole point of like this video and this idea, is that like Nintendo's strategy with Tears of the Kingdom is so weird, right? It's extremely weird, right? And I feel that Nintendo should not they're not proving me wrong at this moment where they're relying a little too much on the name of Zelda and the success of Breath of the Wild. And then, you know, Zelda fans made this argument, I've seen it on social media, like, hey, it's Zelda, they don't have to promote anything. Like, I understand that it is Zelda, they don't have to promote anything to Zelda fans, right? Like Zelda fans, like we've been watching this game like a hawk. That's why we have this conversation. That's why we're gonna go out and buy the collector's edition, the stuff, all the merch, blah blah blah. Yes, Zelda fans are gonna do that. Nintendo fans are gonna do that. A good, you know, chunk of Nintendo Switch install base, you know, the people who have the Switch are gonna get into Tears of the Kingdom. But that's not enough for the casual market, and that's what Nintendo wants. Nintendo wants, because Breath of the Wild is the biggest example of Nintendo successfully breaking into the casual market with a Zelda game. You know, Breath of the Wild dismantled sales expectations and dismantled, you know, what is known for Zelda sales. The highest selling Zelda game before Breath of the Wild was Twilight Princess, right? Which was like, what, 9-10 million units or whatever. And then Breath of the Wild, here comes Breath of the Wild, right? And like 25 million units, I think, like, or almost 30 million units, like, okay, that ballpark, right? Either case, it's just more than double of what the highest selling Zelda game was before that, right? And Nintendo or anyone else can only reach that kind of number is if they break into the casual market, into the conversation is like talked about beyond that of hardcore gamers, right? And the last time Nintendo did something like this where they relied too much on the install base, the name of a product, we got the Wii U. But that, at the same time, that's a little bit of conjecture because that's going from like one console to the next, and then like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are on the same console. But I feel like Nintendo needs to understand that, you know, word of mouth can only go so far within the hardcore market, right? To break into the casual market, that's a whole other different beast that you're gonna have to like, you know, push and nudge and shove for, you know, people to talk about that in those spaces. Right? Because I promise you, like, there's people out there that's played Breath of the Wild, love Breath of the Wild. There's people that like, oh, Breath of the Wild's getting a sequel? Oh, it's not called Breath of the Wild 2? Oh, Tears of the Kingdom? And then there's gonna be like parents that are like, hey, my kid loves Zelda, my kid loves Breath of the Wild. They look at the Tears of the Kingdom box art, and then the fonts, remember, is like really small, and they're like, this looks like Breath of the Wild. This is probably just another cover. This is like one of those Game of the Year editions. No, they already have that product, right? But at the same time, we are still less than 2 months out. Nintendo could take all of April, because this game is coming out early May. Nintendo could take all of April to just like, yo, Tears of the Kingdom. So I just want a little bit more understanding on Nintendo's own strategy when it comes to them doing that. At the same time, if if Tears of the Kingdom does not show up at PAX East, you know, it is what it is, right? I'm still gonna have a good time. I'm still gonna be hanging out with a bunch of fans and a bunch of fans, you guys, all that good jazz. And we're gonna talk off, you know, we're gonna talk each other's ear off of Zelda, which is coming out Nintendo in 2 months, right? But I'm just saying, brother, like whoever is going to represent Nintendo over at PAX East, I'm just saying, just get ready for a lot of Tears of the Kingdom questions if this is all true, right? Just like, what's this looking like? But I'm just saying, if they have the statue, listen, Nintendo, if you have the statue, prototypes of the product, at this point, that'll be good enough. All right. But I'm still going to have a good time at PAX, and I hope to see you guys there at the show. But let me know what you guys think about this article and what you think about Tears of the Kingdom possibly not showing up at PAX East 2023. Until the next video, this has been your boy HMK, and I'll check you guys later.